Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new, because of course you might be. So for today's video I'm actually going to be filming my first year of uni experience kind of thing. I'm wearing some fake glasses to make it look like I am intelligent. I'm not, because I'm doing a media degree. So for those of you who don't know, I'm currently studying media and communication at Bournemouth. I'm in my first year, as I mentioned, because this is what the title of the video is. I'm really hot currently because my window's closed and it's really hot outside. So if my brain starts going to mush, that is why. I do have a big bottle of water though, so it is okay. But yeah, I thought I would basically film like a little roundup of how I found first year, because I've wanted to film this literally since I started. I've been writing down like notes like in this little notebook that I've got right here, basically to remind me in months to come like how I found uni and like how I've been doing and all sorts like that. So I'm going to talk about everything ranging from moving in to literally yesterday, which was my last exam, and yeah, I'm going to talk about a little bit about everything. Okay, where to begin, because I feel like I've got a lot to talk about. I'm not going to go into like my course too specifically, because I think I might write a blog post about my course. I will leave the link to like my course and like all of its details and stuff in the description, in case any of you are genuinely interested, because I've had a few like Instagram DMs from people saying that they do a similar course, or they're thinking of coming to uni to do a course like mine. Even some friends have wanted to like transfer unis because they don't like where they are and have asked me about my course, so I'm going to leave in the description below a link to my uni's website and the course and everything, because I feel like I'm not really going to be able to explain it that well. Like, I can't really do it justice. Okay, so I'm going to like start from the very beginning, which was the 16th of September 2017. That was the day that I moved into uni. I moved to Halls, I moved to Bournemouth. Yeah, what a wild day that was. So I'd already packed. I was really excited to move to uni. If you guys watch my moving vlogs, you will know that I packed, and I packed way too much stuff. If I'm gonna say anything, is that I packed way too much stuff. I'm gonna try and do like a little advice video, I think, probably nearer to September, for all of you guys starting uni in September, because I feel like I have a lot to share in terms of where I went wrong and what I could have done better, maybe. I don't really know. But yeah, so I moved to uni on the 16th and we moved in and we unpacked all my stuff. It was a really stressful time because parents being parents, gotta love them, but they were trying to unpack for me and I was like, no, because I know where I want everything. Everything has to go in specific places. And yeah, it got a bit stressful trying to unpack, as you can probably imagine. I actually met, I can't remember who I met first. I met two of my flatmates pretty much at the same time, and we were just stood in the kitchen having a chat whilst my parents were still there. And we're just, you know, having a chat, getting to know each other, like where they're from, what courses they're doing, etc. Did kind of already know them because obviously we had a group chat. Most unis run on the basis that when you find your flatmates, you can add them on Facebook and stuff, and then get to know them before you move in, which I would say definitely helped, because I was very nervous about meeting new people and living with people that I'd never met before. Obviously because I'd already spoken to them quite a lot, like in a group chat, I felt like we already knew each other to a good extent before we moved in. So yeah, the first night of uni I went to dinner with my parents and my sisters, and then they left me, and I was surprisingly okay. I was a bit, when we were eating dinner, I was a bit like nervous, like, oh, like, can't believe this is happening kind of thing. I was a bit unsure of if I was making the right decision, but I knew that I was. Like, I feel like I do this all the time. I always doubt everything that I do. That's just what I'm like, so I knew that it was just going to be the case of that happening again. So my family left me. They were all quite sad. I wasn't too bad, mainly because by this point I was actually excited more than anything, so I feel like I'd already gotten over the initial like emotion, if you get what I mean. I'd already kind of gone through that the day before when I was still at home. So yeah, and I already had made one friend, again just through like course group chats and stuff like that, so we ended up going out to like the first freshers night, I guess. It wasn't really officially freshers yet, but it was a night, and I met so I met with my friend and all of his flatmates, and then we all became friends, and we're still friends to this day. Like, they're some of my best friends. So yeah, I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself though. I'm trying to look at my list. I've written, needed lots of nervous wheeze at the restaurant. That is true, I did. In terms of like freshers in general, I feel like I'm not the best person to speak to about this, because we didn't really do freshers. Like, my uni did freshers. I have a freshers wristband, which I still wear. I just love a good wristband. But like, I feel like I didn't really do freshers, you know? Like, we went out a couple of times, like clubbing, maybe like, I want to say maybe 4 times out of the 2 weeks that freshers went on. But mainly we just kind of sat in each other's kitchens, had some drinks, like played some games. We had like dominoes a few nights. We went to pubs and did that kind of thing. So we didn't really do proper freshers. Like, it wasn't like fancy dress every night and that kind of thing. We didn't really do that. But that's just my own personal preference. I knew that I wasn't a big going out person. I'm still not. I am more so than I was before I came to uni, which is definitely good, because the thought of it used to terrify me. But now I can go out and enjoy myself. But yeah, I'm still not the biggest fan of it. It's still not my favourite thing to do. I'd much rather have like a games night, or go out for food, or just go to the pub. That's more my kind of thing. I also remembered in freshers we played a lot of Mario Kart, both at the arcade, because Bournemouth has a really cool arcade and it has Mario Kart in there. Went to the arcade quite a lot. We played Mario Kart in my room. We explored the area just in general, like went to the beach and walked along the beach and went to different places. But of course we were all struck with freshers flu, which, when I say good luck to people that get freshers flu, good luck, because I'm pretty sure I still had it in November. Like, it just didn't go ever, because right, so my camera just like decided it was going to stop working for a minute. So I'm back. I'm not sure what I was talking about. I've also had to open my window because I think I was actually starting to overheat a little bit, because I couldn't form words. So if you can hear a lot of building noise and road noise, I'm sorry. I feel like I make this apology in every video that I film. But I don't think my camera really picks up other noises anyway, so I think we're going to be okay. But if you can hear noise, just ignore it, because I physically can't sit in here with my window closed any longer, because it is like a sauna. So yeah, sorry if I've moved, because my camera just died. But I was talking about freshers flu. Basically all I was going to say is I had it till November and we were all just dying for a good month and a half. We ended up spending most of our days in my room in here with the TV on, eating ice cream, because we were struggling so bad. Yeah, once one person gets it in halls, you're all done for. Even now, if someone gets ill in halls, everyone gets ill, and it just happens. It spreads like the plague. It is awful. Okay, so I'm going to talk a bit more about actual uni, because I feel like, although freshers is a big part of first year, for me it wasn't, because we didn't, as I mentioned, we didn't really do freshers. Like, we did to an extent, but yeah, we did a bit. Like, we did go out a bit, but not, yeah, it's not my thing. So first term in general, I've written a few like little notes. I'm really sorry if I keep looking down, I'm just referring to my notes. But I would say that we did 4 units in the first term. So I'm trying to think what I did. So as I mentioned, my course is media and communication. So it's basically a bit like just like media studies, with a bit of like marketing and advertising and stuff thrown in. I think I liked 3 out of 4 of my units. That's what I've written down. Looking back, I can't really tell you what the ones that I liked were and weren't. Again, I'll leave the link to my course's like description in the description, because I feel like I can't really talk about it that well. Like, I can't really explain it and it makes sense without people that don't do media not really understanding, if you get what I mean. So yeah, I liked 3 out of 4 of my units. I found some of them really interesting. I found others just a bit boring, which I think is to be expected. You're not always going to like everything, and my course is very broad, so I'm not always going to enjoy every single aspect of it. My grades were good, like, they're fine. I'm pretty happy with how I've done this year. Obviously I've now done all of my work, all of my exams. Like, I have no more work for first year, and I think it's gone alright. Like, I think I've done quite good. For me, I'm not the best at writing essays. I still can't Harvard reference. Like, it is awful. I thought I was doing okay with that. Like, I have a little like booklet to tell me how to do it, but then I got feedback back from an essay and basically told me that my whole referencing was wrong. So I guess I won't really find out till next year if my referencing's okay or not, but I may have to go over it a little bit, maybe over the summer. Probably won't, but I'd like to think that I would. The workload actually wasn't too bad. If anything, I would say that I would have actually liked to have had a bit more. I know, I'm mad. But at times I found that I wasn't really being challenged, and I felt like we weren't being given as much work as other courses, although looking back I am starting to be like, but that's a good thing, because I've spoken to people in other courses and they are just bombarded with work all of the time, and I like having the balance of, yeah, I go to uni, but it's also not the biggest like time consuming thing, you know, like I'm still managing to do other things alongside of it, and like having a good time living in Bournemouth, but uni is also a thing. And I feel like because I had less work, I could put more effort into the work I did have rather than putting less effort into lots of different things. So I do think the workload was good for me, but it just wasn't a lot, you know. We did have a lot of group projects. Like, we had a group essay, which I hated. I was actually in charge of that, and I did not enjoy that at all. It was so stressful, because trying to manage a whole group when they're not sending you the work, they're not sending you their paragraphs, was just a mess. I wanted to submit it like a day before the deadline, or like a couple of days before the deadline, and that didn't happen because one of my group members just didn't send me anything, and I was just getting very... I could go on for days about how much I hate group work. Even presentations, I'm not a fan of. I'm not the best public speaker. I don't really enjoy public speaking. Obviously I talk in front of a camera, but that's just me in my room on my own. If someone else was to be sat in here right now, I would not be able to... I think my fairy lights might be falling down. We're gonna carry on until they go. But yeah, if someone else was to be sat in here right now, I would not be able to be talking. There they go. They're just gonna stay there now because I really can't bother to move them. So yeah, I hate it. I don't really enjoy presentations. I'm okay at them. For goodness sake. Yeah, I don't really enjoy presentations or group work. And I feel like I've been quite unlucky with my seminar group. If any of my seminar group are watching this, it's nothing personal against you guys, because I actually get along with a lot of people in my seminar group. They're really nice people. But you know when you just know that you can't work very well with someone? That is what it's been like. But overall, I've got on with everyone that I've met on my course, so that's okay. I found that in my first term, like, so before Christmas, my sleeping pattern was horrendous. I would sleep really, really late. I wouldn't go to bed until like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and then not wake up until like 12 or like 11 or 12 the next day. And I know for some people that's like normal, or 2 isn't late or whatever, but I'm someone that would normally go to sleep at like 10:30 and wake up at like 8:30. Like, I'm very kind of concise with my sleeping, but I just wasn't. And it wasn't even that I was going out. Like, we would just sit in my room or like sit in one of my friends' kitchens and just talk for hours and hours, and like play games and watch Vine compilations and or like watch TV shows and stuff until a crazy time, and then I would just be really, really tired. To the point when I went to Birmingham to see Alice during my reading week, and I didn't wake up until 3 o'clock on one of the days, which is horrendous. I have never done that before in my life, but that just goes to show, I think in the first term you get really overexcited, and a bit like, oh, I can do what I want, I can go to bed whenever I want, and then it kind of catches up with you, because since coming back after Christmas, my sleeping schedule's been a lot better. It's still been late, but I've been waking up much earlier, and like, it's not been quite so bad, you know? In terms of feeling homesick and stuff, I haven't felt homesick at all, which is so strange, because before coming here, I would really struggle to stay places. Like, I remember going on a school trip to Belgium. It was quite a long time ago, but still, just for reference, like, I went on a school trip to Belgium and I was so homesick and I didn't really want to be there. I've stayed at my half-sister's house and still felt homesick. Like, that's how bad it used to be, but I just haven't at all. And I think it's because I've got quite a good group of friends and we spend so much time together that I don't really have the chance to feel homesick. I do remember the day of Freshers' Fair, sitting in my kitchen. I was eating lunch on my own in my kitchen, and I did feel a little bit homesick, like the tiniest bit, but I think it was just because I was sat on my own and it was quiet and I could actually, okay, I actually had time to like sit down and think about it. So I think, yeah, I don't think I've really felt homesick, but I think that is down to the fact that I've been with people. I spend most of my days with people and I distract myself, which I think is really good. I think the highlight for me from the first term has definitely been uni Christmas. We had like kind of flat Christmas, but it was my flat and my course friends, and it was just so you probably would have seen it on my Instagram or on my Snapchat, but we basically put a little Christmas tree in my kitchen, we made a Christmas dinner, we ate pudding, we played games. It was so fun, and I think that's always going to be a memory that I'm going to remember from uni because it was just so fun and I was so excited for it. I planned the whole thing and like really got into it. I just loved doing that. Okay, so that was probably it for my first term. So after Christmas we came back and we finished off the units that we were doing before Christmas, so we still had a bit of our first term left. And that was when we had kind of an influx of assignments and loads of work to do, like in the space of 3 or 4 weeks, which was just a bit weird. Like, I don't really understand why they did that because we hadn't really had a great deal of work the whole time, and then all of a sudden we had about 4 different things to be doing, which again, it wasn't the worst, like it was definitely manageable, but we still had it and it was annoying. And then we had 2 weeks off, and then we started on our second term, so that's what I'm going to get into now. I haven't got quite so much to say just because I feel like it's not been quite so long, and by this point I feel like I'd settled in enough for things to not be making, like for things to not be significant anymore. Like it was just, I was used to living at uni at this point. I was used to my routine, like used to getting the bus into uni and all of that kind of thing. I would definitely say that the units in the second half of the year were more boring and a bit more difficult. We had one unit which I just never really managed to get my head around. I actually got my lowest grade in that unit, but I'm not really too fussed because it was only worth 5%. But still, yeah, that unit wasn't my favourite, and the second unit we did was kind of similar to what I did at A-level English, which meant that I didn't really enjoy it because I had a bit of a bad experience of A-level English. Whole other wavelength, but you know. But still, it was, you know, it was fine. Some of it was still quite interesting. I found with the English unit, learning some of it again made it more interesting because I didn't understand it the first time around, but actually being retaught it meant that I did then understand it, so I guess it was okay in that respect. We did, however, have the most horrific assignment where we basically had 90 multiple choice questions, and I think we spent about 5 hours doing it, maybe even longer than that. Like, we were just sat in my kitchen one day, like a group of us, and we were doing these questions and they were just awful. Like, they really were not easy at all. We had to Google most of the answers, or Google the word, keywords and stuff, because it was just really difficult. And I think that will probably be something that will stick with me, just because at the time it was so painful, and afterwards we were just completely dead. We just didn't know what to do with ourselves once we'd submitted it. So that was quite an experience that I think I'll always remember, and it was quite funny looking back. But yeah, I would definitely say that the highlight of second term for me has been the hot weather we've had. The weather has been incredible recently. It's really been so nice in Bournemouth, and obviously we have a really nice sandy beach, so on the days we've not had things to do, we've not had uni, even some of the days when we have had uni and have decided not to go, we've been going to the beach and sitting on the beach and playing games on the beach, and it's just been so nice. That really has been a highlight of the whole year for me, just being able to sit on the beach and feel like you're on holiday. We had one day where we sat on the beach all day, came back and showered, and then went out for dinner, and it felt like we were on holiday, because that's the sort of routine that you would have on holiday. And it was just okay. So that was kind of it for the overall thing. I had an exam yesterday, by the way. When I'm filming this, I had an exam yesterday. That actually went really well. I'm quite pleased with how it went. I think I was a lot more prepared than I thought I was going to be. Even though I did revise and I did do quite a lot of work, I was more prepared than I thought, which is really, really good. So I'm going to move on to some more other general things I feel like I should mention. My flat, so I live in halls, I have my own bathroom but a shared kitchen. and my flatmates are so nice. I get along with them all so well. We don't really see each other that much, like we all have different groups of friends, and we always have done since the start, but that's quite nice because it means that we're not really kind of overloaded with how much we see each other. So it's quite nice to go into the kitchen and every now and again someone will be in there and I'll just sit and have a chat for a bit, so that's really nice. Like I feel like I've been quite lucky with my flatmates. We've not really had too many problems, like nothing that I'm gonna really like desperately remember. So yeah, that's been really nice to have a good group of people to be living with. Definitely not the tidiest of flats, I will say, but I mean that's fine because next year we're going to live in a house, not with my flatmates, with some of my course friends, and it's going to be fine because we're going to be a lot tidier, so it's okay. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that really, because I don't really have anything overly negative to say about my flat. I've been very lucky, I think. I've heard some horror stories, but I think I've been quite lucky. Okay, so I think I'm going to wrap this video up here because I don't really have much else to say on the matter. I think I've covered most things. Overall, I really enjoyed first year of uni. I think I'm going to remember this time. I feel like we probably could have done more with our time. We do spend a lot of days doing not very much, but I do quite like that because I'm not the sort of person to want to go and do really exciting things every single day, and as well as that, we're quite poor, so we can't really go and do stuff all the time, but obviously we have done, and we still have a couple of weeks left, so we're probably going to go do some stuff. But yeah, I definitely could have done a bit more with my time. Like, I wish I'd found a society that I was really interested in. I did sign up for some at Freshers' Fair. I think I signed up for the Disney Society and cheerleading, and didn't go to either of them ever, so maybe next year I'll find something else that I would want to do. I think because next year I'm going to be living a lot closer to uni, I think it'll be a lot easier for me to join a society and do that sort of thing. So I'm definitely going to look into that next year, but I don't mind. I don't regret not joining a society because there just weren't any that really interested me. But yeah, it's been nice, it's been fun. We do have little things we would like to do together, and it's just nice, you know? It's nice. Personal highlight, which is a bit weird, but I really love having late night showers at like midnight. I'm going to miss that when I go home. I feel like it's going to be no longer be acceptable for me to have showers at midnight when I go home, which I'm quite sad about, but what can you do? So yeah, I'm going to wrap this up here because I feel like I've been talking for a very long time. It has been 20 minutes. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this up, and I don't really know what else to say. If you guys have any questions, if you've watched till the end, firstly, thank you. But if you have, and you have any questions, then leave them in the comments. If you have any like video ideas or blog post ideas for anything that you want to see from me in terms of like uni stuff, then do let me know because I will definitely do that. And yeah, I guess I'll see you all soon with another video. Goodbye.